everyone, so my name is Aruj and I am currently studying the bar professional training course at BPP London. I did a transfer program, so I did 2 years at Taylor's University in Malaysia and then I did my final year from Cardiff in Wales. So now the reason I'm actually here today is I have been asked to review this ratio notebook that Rama Publishing has come up with. The purpose of the notebook is to help law students take better case notes. Now, before I go into what I think about the notebook, I think it's a bit better to understand why the founder came up with the book in order to understand how it can actually help law students. Now, her name is Rachida and she studied law herself as an undergrad. Now, her way of studying for cases was to come up with flashcards and revise them the week before or on the tube the same day. And what she found was she would often end up losing half of the flashcards, or she found it really awkward trying to study from them in a train. Now, I think as a law student, we can all relate to that. So to sort of avoid having to lose the flashcards or put herself in such a situation where she was using loose paper around, she came up with a book which is basically everything on 2 pages that you could possibly use to be able to remember a case. Okay, now that we've understood why Rachida came up with a book, I think I want to tell you how I studied for my case notes, so it's easier for me to explain why I think this notebook would be helpful for us. Now, what I used to do was I would take the facts of a case and imagine that I was in that scenario and that I was witnessing everything. And because I would kind of play it out as a movie in my head, I would be able to put a name on everything that was happening. So for example, if we take Donoghue and Stevenson, which is the case which involved a lady ordering ice cream with ginger beer, and when she poured the ginger beer, a decomposed snail came out of the ginger beer into her ice cream. Once I've understood the facts of a case, I would then go on to look at the judgment and the reasoning behind the case and put down the names of the judges that gave the leading judgment in the decision, and after that I would go on to see if anybody dissented with it, meaning they didn't agree with the judgment, and when it came to time for revision, I would just make one chart, and under each topic that this fell in, the case fell under, I would just put 2 or 3 words there that reminded me of what the case was about. And let's go into the book, and based on whether you study on Rachida's way of studying or you study my way or even a different way, this is how the book works and why I feel it would be useful.
First things first, that is what the book looks like, and there are 3 colors that this book comes in. So this is the black one. There's a stone book which is kind of goldish, maybe a bit bronzish. And there is a blue one. First impression wise, I think as a stationery lover, the quality of the book itself is incredible. They haven't spared any cost. This isn't the kind of paper that would bend easy. So when you open it, that's what it looks like. Okay, now there's just a little bit of instructions about how to use the book. As you can see, the design is incredible. Okay, now I want to come back to this page because first I want to show you what it looks like. Everything's laid across 2 pages. So first things, you take the name of the case and you pick up the material facts, which is what we just said that me or Rachida would be able to do with the way that we study. Then you take the ratio of the case, which is the reasoning behind it, and what the conclusion was, what the legal principles were. So in Donoghue and Stevenson, you can talk about how it's set up, the basis for duty of care and tort. Now, mnemonics. Now, this is where you would perhaps draw the snail inside a beer bottle, and definitions. So were there any definitions that are important to remember from the case? And in case anybody gets a bit confused on what it is, this is actually what the page explains. So it tells you what the ratio is, how to pick up the name of the case, the material facts, the conclusion. So honestly speaking, I think as a law student, had I got something like this in my first year, I think it would have been really, really helpful for me, because I really struggle with trying to take cases. I remember going and asked my personal tutor, I don't know how to, I don't know how to remember cases, I don't know what to do with the cases, and this book would definitely be really helpful. Now, I also think, as a person who's doing the bar right now, I really, really wish I had something like this back in the time when I was in year 1 and year 2 and year 3, because there's so many cases that till right now where I'm applying for pupillage and I've been asked to talk about a case and I want to go back to a principle that I've learned. I don't have any of those notes because I throw them away. And if you have a book to just keep everything like important with the notes inside, like, you know, why not? Like, this will last you for even when you go into practice. Now, honestly, I think the book is like an incredible idea. I think it's a great initiative, and I would really, really encourage, you know, people to buy it. I think it would just be really helpful for you as a law student in general. The price of each book is around £10. Some may find it quite steep, but I think for the quality of the book and for the purpose that the book serves, I genuinely think it's really worth it. There's 56, I mean, you can take 56 different case notes inside, like 56 different cases you can make notes of, and you know, I think you can pick per subject, maybe like get 1 or 2 per subject, and they'll literally last you for your entire, you know, 3 years and even after.
And the way to buy it is to log on to Rama Publishing's website, so www.ramapublishing.com, and you could order it online and they'll get it posted. So that's my opinion on the book, and yeah, I would definitely recommend everyone to buy it.